Chapter 1 What do you think is wrong with me? You are listening at FameTV.info. Dongzhou, the gathering place of cultivators, of which the Luyun sect is the largest sect, with strong strength and abundant resources, it is looked up to by all cultivators, and countless cultivators will break their heads in order to become outer disciples. Luyun sect /s inner disciples are only accepted under the age of 20, which still needs to be assessed, and the older ones are generally only allowed to enter the outer peak. It is even more difficult to be promoted from an outer disciple to an inner disciple, and some cultivators are unable to do so for the rest of their lives. At this moment, I saw a few bright light streak across the sky, and then fell into the inner peak of the Flowing Cloud sect. Before the disciples of the Flowing Cloud sect could guess, another bright light fell into it crookedly. Everyone could see clearly that the person behind was the first-named disciple of Ling Jichen on Lingyun Peak, Mu Bingyun. Then they also thought of the identities of the previous few people. It is said that Mu Fengxue, a direct disciple of Ling Jichen, went to the southern wilderness to practice. From this look, I am afraid that something big has happened. Weifeng /s disciples became nervous one by one, and their faces were a little worried. Mu Fengxue was a genius that was rare in 1,000 years, an immortal. Level would vain. Talent is good, and people like it. It is said that when Mu Fengxue has reached the realm of Xianwang, he will soon become a Taoist companion with Ling Jichen. The monks are not so particular about it, everything is dominated by strength. No one remembered whether Mu Bingyun, who entered last, the crooked light, returned safely inside Ling Yunfeng, a small room. The door of the room was tightly closed, and there was no dust around it. A gray-robed woman sat cross-legged on the couch, her face was extremely pale, and her blue silk was casually held by a wooden hairpin, looking extremely simple. There was a black gas in the eyebrows, obviously being poisoned. This is Mu Bingyun, Mu Fengxue /s cousin, Ling Jichen /s named disciple. Mu Bingyun suddenly opened his eyes were extremely complicated. A bottle of elixir appeared in her hand. This is the Wandu elixir she accidentally got. As long as she takes it, she can detoxify. This experience was originally Mu Fengxue /s plan, and she wanted to put her to death. She was no longer the Mu Bingyun who didn't understand anything, the trash of the Mu family. Her existence has made Mu Fengxue feel a crisis. Mu Fengxue is a proud person and will not allow anyone to surpass her. It /s just that Mu Fengxue didn't expect that the cannon fodder she wanted to kill had her own life hanging by a thread. At this moment, Mu Fengxue, half of his legs went into the coffin, right. A bloodthirsty smile appeared on the corner of Mu Bingyun /s mouth. Mu Fengxue ruined her reputation and pushed her into a cliff every time. If she hadn't been alert, she would have died many times. Boom, with a loud bang, the door of the small house opened. Quickly broke into 7 figures, and the 7 people stayed in front of Mu Bingyun, staring at her solemnly, seemingly random standing, but her retreat was blocked. She raised her head, through the dim light, her eyes fell on a man in a moon-white robe. The man was so handsome, especially those calm and affectionate eyes, which made her fall into it involuntarily. Suddenly felt several contemptuous glances around him, and the corners of his mouth couldn't help mocking. Mu Bingyun, Haven you seen it clearly. S eyes gradually regained clarity. These are Mu Fengxue /s admirers, and the arrogant sons from various sects bowed down to Mu Fengxue /s skirt one after another. Mu Bingyun, I heard that you have Wandu pill. If you need anything, I will exchange it for you. Yang Li said urgently, with a worried expression on his face. If it wasn't for an emergency, he wouldn't be cheap. This vicious and greedy woman. Mu Bingyun /s talent is not good, and the person is vicious, and everyone in the Luyun faction hates her very much. I don't /t know what means she used to reach the realm of Xianwang. Mu Bingyun didn't /t speak, and his eyes never looked away from Ling Jichen /s body. The first seat, you are this. Mu Bingyun blinked, pretending not to understand anything. The face was full of innocence, and it made several people hate it. Sure enough, the rumors from the outside world were true. This Mu Bingyun had the intention of conspiring against Ling Jichen. Although they were rivals in love with Ling Jichen, they also felt that Mu Bingyun was not worthy of Ling Jichen /s shoes. Ling Jichen didn't /t say anything, but another man walked up to Mu Bingyun and said indifferently. "One papil, hand it over." "Huh, Fu Shilin." Mu Bingyun laughed suddenly, which is why Fu Shilin was so straightforward. She hated her so directly that she forgot that she and Fu Shilin were still friends. I don't /t know when, she was rejected by everyone, and the people around her left one by one, targeting her one by one. Mu Bingyun forcibly endured the physical discomfort, and lay down on the reclining. There was a bit of charm between his brows, which made several people frown, and immediately thought that this woman was not only annoying, but also behaved inappropriately. But, Cher /s life is still at stake. Mu Bingyun had a smile on his face, and his pale face made people feel more pity, but it was useless to these people. Their hearts are pure Mu Fengxue. Mu Bingyun is just a goblin, a vicious woman, nothing compares to Mu Fengxue. First seat, what do you think is wrong with me? Mu Bingyun raised his eyebrows and asked. Ling Jichen pursed his lips and did not answer. Mu Bingyun smiled, with some tears in the corners of his eyes. In this life, I did one wrong thing and met you. Bingyun, give me the wand pill, and I will accept you as a direct disciple. Finally, Ling Jichen spoke up. No matter what, we must save Shuai. Mu Bingyun /s eyes were a little colder. Sir, why do you think I want to become your direct disciple? Is it to become stronger? Is it for longevity? Is it greed? What do you want? Ling Jichen frowned. Bingyun was too self-willed. Anyway, save Shuai first. Mu Bingyun closed his eyes, his chest always felt a little stuffy, and his voice was hoarse. First seat, Ling Jichen, are you killing me? As long as you are willing to give the wand pill to Shuai I will find a way to save you. Ling Jichen said with confidence, and Mu Bingyun was about to burst into tears. Okay, Ling Jichen, I like your auspicious cloud feather coat, give it to me. Mu Bingyun raised his head suddenly, his voice rose, and as soon as the words fell, several people despised him. She was indeed a greedy woman. Shan Yunyi was prepared by Ling Jichen for Mu Fengxue. It was the first time she robbed something Mu Fengxue cared about, and it was really cool to rob someone else /s things. Ling Jichen hesitated for a while, and then there was a radiant garment in his hand. The rays of light looked like auspicious clouds from a distance. Mu Bingyun didn't /t put his eyes on Shan Yunyi, his red lips parted slightly, and he hooked his fingers. Ling Jichen, when did you like Mu Fengxue? She knew Ling Jichen first, tried to get into the Flowing Cloud sect, and went to great lengths to worship him as a named disciple. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.